Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here in the British Virgin Islands. This is Beef Island, Tortola, one of my favorite airports in the world. This is done by SLH Sim Designs. They did an update that I somehow missed, so I figured we'll test out the new NVIDIA driver 560.81, and we'll do it from a rather beautiful location. This is officially known as Terrence B. Lettsome International Airport. Gorgeous part of the world. So let's get started here. Go. Let's head position correct here first. All right, external power supply on. We'll go rotating beacon on. Mixtures and props pull forward. Master and battery switches on. Unfortunately, my fuel pumps are not working on my Honeycomb Bravo, and I have no idea why. Let's open the two valves. Mags to 1 on both sides. Take a look outside, make sure there's nobody out there to kill or maim. There is not. We'll crack the throttles, toes on the brake, and good. The right engine started first. Good start. Oil pressure is good. Mags both. Left prop is clear. Good start. Mags to both. Oil pressure is good. Close the starter hood cover. I wish I could figure out what's going on with my fuel pumps, but I can't. So we just have to live with it, I guess. Alright, avionics master and battery. Our avionics master coming on. Let's lean the mixtures for taxi. Nav and strobe lights on. Set our altimeter, which is pretty much 0. The new driver 560.81 came out yesterday, and the main thing of interest to us is we turn off the external power supply and release the parking brake. The main thing of interest to us is that there is supposedly a reduction in CPU usage. There was a situation where there was a CPU spike or you know, excess use of CPU power, and that has been fixed. So there's nothing else indicated for Microsoft Flight Simulator, but that alone is of interest to us. So we'll check that out as we go here. We're gonna do a quick stop in St. Thomas. Beautiful airport there. I figure rather than taking off and doing just doing a 25-minute flight over to oh, I didn't tell you where we're going. Culebra, island of Culebra in Puerto Rico. A 25-minute flight, but I figure what I'll do, I've got, this is obviously a payware scenery. St. Thomas is a bigger, more complex payware scenery, and Culebra is another payware scenery. So I figure we'll get some payware sceneries in here, try to stress this a little bit and see how we do. I don't know why it keeps moving over here. Noticing this for a while now. So, really cool airport. And all right, it looks like good to go. Let's put some takeoff flaps in. Let's turn the fuel pumps on. And we'll go mixtures rich. Let's go landing lights on. Now why are my generators turning off? When my landing lights come on? That is an excellent question. So clearly something has gone haywire here. Not quite sure what it is, but I haven't done any updates to this airplane. I haven't changed anything with this airplane. I have no idea what this is all about. But transponder squawk altitude. And another thing you always want to make sure you do before you depart is check your trim. I like having a little bit more nose up trim than is normally asked for. We've got enough room here. That's looking a little short. Go down here a little bit. Got traffic off. I'm not on VATSIM because some people find it annoying when I'm on VATSIM doing demo videos like this, so I respect that. So lots going on in the flight sim world aside from this this driver update. The other thing of interest, NVidia wise, I've been working to get myself out of that habit of calling it NVidia. The other thing interesting going on NVidia wise is the update to the NVIDIA app that now has automatic GPU overclocking, which is quite interesting. They've been talking about that for a while and they've finally done it, so I'm gonna check that out and I'll get back to you guys on that one. Main thing we're looking for out of this driver today is just to make sure it's smooth and no hiccups. And I think we are good to go. All right, mixtures and props full, forward fuel pumps are on, flaps are set. Trim is good. So, British Virgin Islands looking gorgeous today as always. I am 18 days from being in Anguilla. I will be flying in this exact airplane. I will be flying in this exact airplane in 18 days in real life. And hopefully what I won't be doing is flying it off the runway. Well, I'm not going to be flying it, but you know. Get ourselves on center line. Alright, heading indicator checks with the runway number. It's just butter smooth thus far. Alright, takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. Feel that right crosswind here a little bit. There's 70 knots. And as my friend Pete would say, let's go commit aviation. So, beautiful departure here out of Beef Island. Beautiful departure out of Beef Island. Let's pull the power back to 25. There's about 400 feet AGL. So we're gonna start making our turnout here. Instrument flying. Instrument flying, you wait until about 800 feet, or excuse me, about 400 feet AGL before you make your first turn. And that's how you ensure that you don't hit anything. One of our primary goals in aviation is to not hit anything. I'm keeping my collapsed in because I started turnout 1000 feet AGL, turn a few pumps off. I started this turnout and some build up a little bit of speed here. Started the turnout without really looking to my left and not realizing that I haven't flown to this airport in quite a while, and without really realizing that perhaps that wasn't the wisest decision. Terrain wise, so we will head over to St. Thomas and see what it's looking like over there. The weather's looking lovely, as it usually does in this part of the world. As we're in the climb here, we gotta keep increasing our manifold pressure by 1 inch per 1,000 feet. And 2,300 climb at 3,000. Heading of 272. Our flight to Culebra, if we were to go in an exactly straight line, would take us right over top of St. Thomas anyway. So may as well, right? Something is there's clearly some sort of a gremlin that has propped up with this plane. I haven't. Very odd, because I noticed this the other day. There's a 3,000 feet. We'll come back to 23 inches of manifold pressure, 2,300 on the RPMs. So I noticed this the other day, that the fuel pumps all of a sudden weren't working, and the last time I flew the plane, the fuel pumps were working just fine. I don't recall making, I made no changes to the controls. I didn't update the plane. I genuinely don't know. Gee whiz. Riding the Bucking Bronco here this morning. Must have passed over an amoeba. Look at this. Unreal. They have 2,000 foot per minute climb rate from going. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's conceivable. I guess it's conceivable. It's just not very likely. You know, if you go over a mountain, you can easily get 2,000 foot per minute climb rates from the updrafts. But I mean, over top of like a 300-foot hill, I tend to think that it's pretty unlikely, but such is life. I can tell you that the air feels very alive. The airplane feels very alive. I've flown in this part of the world in this part of the Caribbean anyway in a bit. I kind of missed out on the chance to show you. I don't remember what the name of it is. There's a point of interest from the Caribbean, the World Update 16 Caribbean, over in that part of the BVIs that we just left. And I didn't think to go look at it before we made our way, but that's all right. St. Thomas out in front of us. St. John over here to our left. One of the peaks over there is, I don't remember the name of the place. There's a bar with a really great webcam that looks out over the, water from on high. Looks really, really nice. And I can't think what it's called. See a little bit of kind of ghosting along the trailing edges of the wings there, which is fairly typical. Fairly typical. So just start seeing our destination there off past St. Thomas there off in the distance. In the far distance, you can see Puerto Rico proper. Right here in front of us is St. Thomas, and then in between, I don't know if it's that obvious to you, you'll see the Culebra there in the middle. Very, very smooth. This right here has to do with the livery. It's not the driver. So get our yoke back. It's good to have a yoke when you're flying. Very cool part of the world. It's beautiful. I mean, so far this driver is smooth as can be. And the fact that it uses less in the way of CPU is excellent, because in Microsoft Flight Simulator we are CPU bound anyway. We're CPU limited anyway. So anything we can do to take load off the CPU is a plus. So if this driver does that, that is great. Sometimes sometimes changes that affect us in Microsoft Flight Simulator are not necessarily overtly mentioned. Start bringing some power out here. Not necessarily overtly mentioned in the driver notes. You can see over there the port of Charlotte Amalie. Airport is just on the other side of this hill here. That is a pretty famous beach right there, and I can't remember what it's called. Got the headphone simulation on. I realized that after I started to play, I normally wouldn't have it on in the Islander. But it actually makes sense to have on in the Islander because Islander is known to be one of the loudest airplanes in the world to sit in. There's Culebra right there off our nose. We'll just go do a touch and go in St. Thomas. Whoa, easy there, cowboy. We'll go do touch and go in St. Thomas. And then no, dude, don't want to be climbing right now. My reduced power there, kiddos. And then we'll go over to Culebra. Good for me to get a practice landing in it anyway before we head to Culebra, because Culebra is one of the trickiest little landings in aviation, really. And I would certainly have made it one of the landing challenges for World Update 16, but nobody asked. Oh, there you go. I think they should have asked me. I think they should ask me a lot of things. They don't. Alright, there's 150 knots. We'll go first notch of flaps. And come around the corner here. I've got some other interesting news on a personal level. This really isn't gonna, well, it may affect you guys, because I will certainly be telling you all about it. But I got an order in for the Charlie rudder pedals yesterday from my pilot store, and in honor of my friend Jim Bridgman, I am going to bug my landing runway heading so I don't forget which runway I'm landing on. Good idea, right? Jim, that one was for you. Thank you again. So, rounding it out here. I knew this is going to be a bit of a long final for the Islander, because but I didn't want to cheat and kind of come through one of those valleys and see what was going to be ahead of me. So should be a pretty decent glide path here. We'll go props full forward, bring a little bit of power out. Two pumps on. No, please don't do that. So there was a little bit of a hitch in the giddy up right there. Tiny little bit of, I don't know if I'd call it a stutter per se, but all right, we'll start getting back into the white arc here. that second notch of flaps in. We got that in. That speed tagged at 80. Starting to do one red light there on the pappies on the left. All right. No. But this plane is active today, I'll tell you that much. But it can be in the Caribbean with the heat. Sure. 80 knots, glide path is good. About 400 feet per minute here. I think this one's fun. Wait till you see Culebra. Nope. Keep coming down. Stay on center line. And bring the power out. A little bit of a crosswind landing there. Alright, we'll go up on the flaps one notch. Trim is probably too much nose up here. Alright, mixtures and props full forward. Takeoff power is coming in. There is our live traffic here at airport. And let's get out of here. Beautiful, no? Alright. We gotta get turning right here early so we don't hit the mountain. Hitting mountains is ill-advised. Gosh, the water and the water masking looks unbelievable. Alright, power can start coming back down a little bit. Drops back to 25. Alright, there's 1,000 feet. We'll go fuel pumps off. We will check our pressures. Fuel pressure looking just fine. 1,500 feet will be good for the ride over to Culebra. Let's go flaps up. Normally this would be a poor heading to be on because we are coming right across the approach path of the runway here. Which is not a good idea. But bit more ghosting there you can see on the trailing edge of the runway of the wings and the elevator there, or stabulator as one might otherwise call it. So airplane is wanting to climb, and it's not atypical kind of heat. So far, only one little, wouldn't even call it a stutter. It was like it was barely even perceptible. But I generally get a pretty good feel for how smooth these drivers are, just because with the Tobii, the Eye Tracker 5, it's very noticeable if it's not smooth for any particular reason, and it's very, very smooth here today. So the tricky thing about Culebra is that you're coming down through this valley. You're coming down through a V in this hill, just short of the runway, and then you've got like probably I'd say a good 45-degree turn to make. And so you've really got to be on point. There's an even more entertaining landing from the other side. They call the I can't remember what they call it now. But the local operators will do it coming right over the hill and chopping the power. It's really pretty wild. If you search on my channel for Culebra, you'll see it. I did it. I've done it a couple times in the Islander. I'm not gonna do it today because I don't know if I'm not it's funny. Flying is like anything else. I mean, sometimes you feel like you can do anything, and sometimes you're not feeling, you know, I don't know. I find flying can be kind of streaky, as they say in sports, and I sometimes last couple outings I have not really felt it with my landings, and I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. I think a good straight up runway 13 landing in Culebra will be good enough for me today. That landing from the other side is pretty entertaining. As smooth as can be. Smooth as can be. All right, I'll bring the power back here. Props back. Go fuel pumps on. Be lucky if I even can pick the right inlet to go in here. Beautiful little island. This is another place I want to see at some point in my life. There's 115 knots. Notch flaps. It'll help get us slowed down here a little bit. And we'll keep going down, going down. Bug our runway 13. It really is. It's kind of a weird. I mean, we're basically on a downwind right now. Not basically on a downwind. We are on a downwind. And is white arc. I'm gonna go fuel. I'm gonna go second notch of flaps. We'll bring flaps full forward. Power in now because we want to don't want to lose any more altitude. Certainly doesn't feel like we're on a downwind, but this is the advantage of bugging your heading. Bugging your runway heading, so I know that my runway is right there. This way. You see that inlet here in that valley that we're going to be going through. Water's looking a little odd on the surface, but and this is what I meant. This is what I was talking about. You go through this valley here and you've still got a good yeah, at least maybe even 60 degrees to turn. Maybe about 45, I guess. Alright, mixtures and props full forward, fuel pumps around, flaps are set. Definitely time to bring some power out here. 80 knots. And this is where you got to be an active pilot. You can't just watch the airplane. Really gotta do what you want it, make it do what you want it to do. And here we go. Airspeed is okay. Not a bit much, but again, you gotta the boss here. All right. Okay. Okay, I overshot. I knew it. I mean, the touchdown was all right, but wasn't the pull the yoke back, get some aerodynamic braking. That wasn't the cleanest approach, but like I said, in the mixtures here a little bit. I haven't done this approach in a while, and the air is lively today. Pilots are like race car drivers. We always have an excuse. Alright, we're here at the runway. Put the flaps up. Off. And this is a really cool little airport. So he's added some. So I just updated this one as well today. He's added a nice family, a lovely family of 4 here waiting for us to depart. Was into the wind here a little bit. All right, mixtures to idle cutoff, throttles are idle, parking brake set, lights coming off. All right, avionics master coming off. We'll go, the fuel pumps are already off. We'll go mags off here. you please go away? Alright, lights are all off. Master and battery switches off. Let's go over here. We'll go chocks and boarding step. And we'll come down. And we'll open the doors. So not too bad. Not too bad as far as the flying portion goes. As far as the performance version goes, performance is great. I mean, live traffic. I've got the boat add-on for the US and British Virgin Islands, so that's going. You can see all the boats over there. Payware sceneries galore, you know, big and small. So I'd say we're looking pretty good with this driver. One tiny little hesitation that I noticed, but it was literally just a blink of an eye. I might not even have noticed it. You probably didn't even notice it in the video. But yeah, anyway, here we are in Culebra, and I mean, I'm you know, pretty darn confident that you can give this driver a go and you're not going to be adversely affected by it. You might actually be versely affected by it. I mean, if adversely is the contrary, then versely has got to be the pro, right? So pretty much good to go here with the 560.81 driver from NVidia. Did I say it right? NVidia. Yes, I did. Really good. So I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you enjoyed the flight, and we will see you guys again soon.